Slime. See, that's funny because...
Julio, we are proud of you, man. Julio, we're proud of you.
Listen.
And just everybody, Julio, we're proud of you. Titans, we're proud of you.
We'll get into that because that is a whole thing by itself.
Julio, we're proud of you.
Because we're
Julio, I'm proud of you.
I'm a pro Julio
guy. By
the
way, I noticed you didn't even comment on my shirt.
What was it? You didn't even show me.
You don't know what this is. You have no
Snowfall from
FX. Are you a fan?
I mean, yeah.
Prove it to me.
How am I supposed to prove it to you? It's about cocaine, about a black kid. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
There you go.
You're a fucking liar is what you are.
No, I heard it's a good show.
You just didn't want me to sell it on you. That's why you said yeah. But you've been doing...
This is an hour or so show, so we have a lot of news to get to. Didn't really want to do this whole, like... Plug me on Snowfall.
Sure.
If you could do it in 2 minutes, go for it.
I mean, first of all, that is very fair. You know, it could easily go for 3 hours at this podcast. But I just want to make sure and verify you're a fan. So you say it's about a kid with cocaine. What is that kid's name? What is the kid's on my shirt's name? Just tell me that.
Ruben. I don't fucking know.
So you haven't seen it and you wanted to avoid the sales pitch. So here's the sales pitch. It's a
2-minute sales pitch.
2-minute sales pitch. It is about how LA... basically had crack funneled into it by the government, and the government used this to fuel a war out in Nicaragua, and this is proven. There's a lot of documentation about it, and this is basically just a small focused-in story on that from a couple of different perspectives, and it's one of the best shows I've seen in a long time, and I'm a TV and movie whore.
I think we talked about this before. I don't know if I talked about this with you or somebody else.
There's no way I haven't brought it up.
No.
Actually, you know what?
No, not Snowfall.
During our long fall. Okay.
Not Snowfall in general, but FX is low-key one of the better, like, put out shows out there, like, channels out there. Like, I enjoyed Fargo, I enjoyed Justified.
TV channels still putting out good content? FX.
Even when it was, like TV shows and other things. Like, Fargo,
Absolutely.
Justified, Nip Tuck. The League was one of my favorite shows, obviously.
It's one of the only few shows I came through the streaming era in a really, at least FX content, in a really, like, strong way.
I don't know if you're a big Little Dicky fan, but, like...
Dave
was pretty good.
Andrew Santino.
Sons of Anarchy.
Andrew Santino has a role in it, the redhead guy. Hilarious.
That's your guy?
Sons of Anarchy is another classic, absolutely. I mean, yeah, FX all day.
We can talk about different shows.
This is FX post-show. Always Sunny, obviously the second greatest comedy of all time.
What's first?
Next to South Park. That is my religion. That is everything I believe for. Not a lot of people agree with that.
No.
That's the type of person
the same person. It's like a person coming up to you and it was like, oh, like, this person was the best football player of all time, but he played in the 60s, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can't really argue with it. Like, it's just like, okay, glad to know that you love in nostalgia.
You just know it's an opinion thing. That is fair. I know that. You're not going to change mine ever.
Zero.
I will say, right before we go off, let's go ahead and let's move right along because this as exciting as this is not five holers. I don't want to get into five holers territory by any means.
I want to talk about TV shows and top five players.
Can I ask you about that?
Yeah,
I don't know if they listen to this podcast.
Go for it.
So I did not listen, obviously. Yeah, I did not listen.
You're not ahead of this. Echelon.
Great show though, five holers. When I do get a listen, it's always an enjoyable listen, of course.
Go for
it. So Jack, it's hockey playoffs. How did you guys divert? That was my main question I've been meaning.
I don't know.
Because real quick, he does a hockey podcast, and we'll get into Julio and and other shit soon. But real quick before we do, since we're getting nitpicks out of the way.
Let's just get it out of the way right now. So, it actually started with Will Ferrell. But it's
the hockey playoffs.
So, listen to that. So, obviously, 3 out of the 4 of us are Caps fans, and the other guys are...
Some skill gummies, by the way, are fantastic.
Maybe even a few. But...
I'm going to keep offering them.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
This is love right here between podcasters.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a great partnership. That's a healthy partnership and friendship right there. You keep them up.
So, and then the other guys are Winnipeg Jets.
There's just a little bit of passion in there.
Well, I mean, if I die, I die.
You're going to die someday anyway, buddy. It's going to happen.
That's what I tell people when I eat like 60 wings at once. I'm like, if this doesn't kill me, old age is going to kill me. So what the fuck does it matter?
You're just beating it to the race, right?
Everybody's like, oh, but you want to live long. No, if I'm 80 and I can't move, why would I fucking want to live? Just might as well die when I'm 40 and I can move.
That is fair. A little dark note, maybe go like 60. maybe go retirement age 60. I want to go in my dirty 70s. Like if it's still working and it's still rocking, then let's go for it. But we've gone on so many divergence and holes where podcast. Yeah, clarify that.
Let me finish. So obviously when the Caps lost, a lot of us didn't really. I mean, we cared about the playoffs not too much. We kind of what happened was we compared some of the stuff that happened in the playoffs to Will Ferrell shit. And then we started doing Will Ferrell top 5. Then we did Jack Black last time. We thought it was.
So is that like a little funsy segment at the end?
It's a funsy segment. So we still do talk about the hockey playoffs, but we don't talk in depth because it's we care, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck of if the Avalanche is gonna win. Right now they're losing 3-2 to the Knights. There's your tidbit.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time.
Yeah, I get you.
And the other guys are weak.
It's such a boring, terrible sport that you have to find a way to fill other shit in with it. I understand.
And we're a podcast about nothing with a little bit of hockey. So there you go.
You're doing a Seinfeld riff.
It's
podcast?
Not about. It's more so about we've gone to.
Let's hear. I know some other shows have done that. Real quick, before we finally get to football, let's hear your Seinfeld impression.
No, I can't.
You want to bring? We're going down so many rabbit at this point.
Shout out to a partner podcast, Shonen Tapes, with A Muzi doing this. Jerry Seinfeld, he's the best at it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
If I tried, it would sound like I don't know, like a Russian getting fucked. I don't know.
It would sound like that sounds troubling. It would you go immediately to a Russian getting fucked?
Like that.
No, I get it. Okay.
There it is.
No, I get it.
All right, so we played.
Talk about the rabbit hole fucking carnival right there.
For the first time viewers, this is what happens. Welcome to Faces of Franchise. I am your host, Michael, the Pharaoh Shanudian, always to my front, my co-host, the man an hour too sweet to be sour, Lil Joe. Ooh. Now, we played Proud of You.
Is that still a party boy, the dance?
I mean, now it is, because guess who's doing it?
Brought it back, guess who's back, the hump and dance. Wait till I get canceled.
Yep, there it is.
Okay.
So, it's so funny that we played Proud of You and Slime because the Falcons basically were on Nickelodeon and got slimed because they got fucked. Anyways, Julio finally got his
really excited for that one too.
No, I had something else, but you kind of diverted me in 6 different ways, so I had to figure out how to put it in there.
It's improv, baby. What were you gonna say? Tell us all.
I was gonna say it's funny we played Slime, and it's it feels like the '90s, like Nickelodeon Slime.
Are you gonna probably go with the way I'm dressed too, with my long socks and long pants?
Yeah,
pants through the knee.
Exactly.
That's how you spell that. It's tucked in today.
If you're watching us on YouTube,
bring it back to '90s, baby.
This guy looks. You look like a baller at LA Fitness who he balls all the time, but he is.
I thought I had to clarify. Will
20 rebounds, 60 picks, at least 60 fouls, 2 points.
Hey man, they're not counting fouls out here. It don't matter. Good defense makes offense. Good defense.
You're the guy who's bad. You're the guy who actually punches somebody.
Everybody's so confused because somehow he can dunk. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense, but he can dunk and he's got.
It's either like an Adam Sandler type situation where you're actually really good,
and right,
or the guy who's we know you suck, and you're not hiding it. But. It's back to real news.
We pick last.
So we knew the Falcons were going to get rid of one of the two, Julio or Matt Ryan. Obviously, the Kyle Pitts pick made it obvious that it was Julio. And Julio, even though he got kind of trapped, said it on air on Undisputed with Shannon Sharp. And we knew that the top candidate was the Titans, and they were pushing. A.J. Brown was pushing.
He was not coming back. There's no way.
So it was confirmed over the weekend for a second round pick, 5th round pick for Julio Jones to the Tennessee Titans. He will be wearing number 2 to A.J. Brown's 11. So now, guess what?
Which is very cool. Julio, you heard according to A.J., what A.J. said was, hey, it's dope. Go ahead. You can keep the.
He offered it.
He offered it. He said you can keep the numbers line that you're.
He offered it. Yeah. So here's the big thing. So what does this mean for both franchises? Obviously, in my opinion.
No, we gotta address before. Okay, go ahead.
Address what?
Well, we have to address pure disrespect. there's a couple pure disrespects going on here. One, that trade is just disrespect.
25 teams. I will name 25 teams right now. Should look at their league office. If Julio Jones went for a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick, should look at their front office and be like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, were you sleeping? Like, right. did you even give them a call? Because, all right, listen.
Did you see what was just acquired?
Yeah. Man? Oh, my gosh.
And not only that, people that also on the internet right now that are saying, oh, well, that was fair. That is just how the league is now.
So a lot of people are saying it's fair because he's 30-something years old. He hasn't had a double-digit touchdowns. His contract, whatever. We'll get to that. But like in my opinion, in their division, you don't think the Colts would needed him? You don't think Trevor Lawrence would have loved having fucking Julio Jones go crazy?
Yeah, talk about a fucking stepping stone into a great career.
Oh my gosh! And
there are so many people that could take advantage from this, and I'm just fucking baffled.
Massage envy fucking Deshaun would have loved him.
We're proud of you, Julio. We're proud of you. But what the fuck is going on?
A lot of so the teams, literally, we can name the teams that shouldn't have traded it. Oh, let's talk about Mr. Aaron Rodgers. What do you think Mr. Aaron Rodgers would have loved it? Listen, I understand probably the Falcons were not fielding any NFC trades. 100%. Probably wouldn't have gotten it if the Green Bay Packers called, but if the Green Bay Packers called for a Packers gave a first-round pick, you don't think they would probably think about it, especially with what's going on with Aaron Rodgers? I mean, come on. So, here's the deal. The Tennessee Titans now have gone into that tier with the Buffalo Bills, with the Chiefs, of trying to get to the AFC Championship game, probably winning the Super Bowl, because now they have a window. Now you have...
They're in the Super Bowl, Mike. They're in the Super Bowl.
Listen, I'm not quick to do anything because obviously there's injuries. Obviously we don't know. And their defense was very, very lackluster. Very lackluster. They can only go up, which is fine, but how far up can they go? And you can tell, as a person who's seen an offense with a shitty-ass defense, you're going to have to score 35 points to win a game, at least. So that's not my point. My point is right now, on paper, they're third behind Buffalo and the Chiefs, just because also Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are that good. Not saying Ryan Tannehill is bad. I'm saying those two are so elite that they can maneuver around everything. But that's where the defense comes from. Julio puts it now in another tier of this offense is going to be super explosive with A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. Now you can't stack the box because you have those two. Now Derrick Henry can run free. I don't know who their fucking tight end is.
It opens up a lot, but I want to go back to the defense for a second because I think it is, and a lot of people are going to compare this kind of to the better Falcons, or at least the Falcons in their heyday, right? 4 or 5 years ago. That's an easy comparison in my opinion because again, as we had your deep dive Titans, our deep dive Titans guy on here as well, and let us know that this defense has plugged a lot of holes. They have went ahead and made a lot of moves to make this defense as a whole a little more secure. And if everything is in place, that defensive system is pretty damn good. It just depends on, one, is this chemistry going to finally kind of glue in like it should? Are we going to be injury-free for this Titans defense? Because I think it is a scary defense if the pieces fall together.
On paper. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Everything looks good on paper until fucking the games start playing. And then injuries happen and shit. Right. And next thing you know, you're the 49ers. So
something always happens.
So now let's look at the pros and cons to both sides. So pros, obviously, we talked about with the Titans. They're now probably the third best team in the AFC as of now. Maybe the first, number one at the end of all this. Cons to all of it, I mean, he is 31, he's 32, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's really not a con. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So, whoever says this is an awful trade because he's 32 and double digits, he's still the best wide receiver, I think, in our generation.
100%.
I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care what you think. Those 25 teams, again, you should go fuck yourself because you didn't try. And if you're thinking my team wasn't a team that should have... don't need Julio, then you're an idiot.
Again, there's a lot of teams that could have had advantage.
You're an idiot.
It's just, it's disgusting.
Seahawks have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and they were trying. Like, there goes that.
So many different situations, and they must have not just been taking phone calls from NFC teams. And
it has to be.
100%. I'm with you on that.
Titans and Colts.
There's no other thing that makes makes like illogical sense whatsoever. You don't tell me again. You don't want Aaron to leave again. The Pickle Pecker Pipers better go ahead and get Julio Jones. That is a disgusting fit. Same kind of environment with another superstar receiver. That would have been launched them right in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I mean, some questions about that defense as well. So I think it's again same kind of situation style that could have launched him right to where Julio clearly wants to be. It's just it's the only thing.
One thing that and you know I love taking shots at the Ravens, so this is my time to take a shot at the Ravens. You want to prove that Lamar is a fucking good quarterback?
Finally, the first time in this show, there's been a little sparkle in your eye here.
This is ridiculous.
Besides when you tried to make the slide.
I will disrespect Lamar left and right whenever I can. I say it all the time. He's a fucking running back. He's a blah blah blah. He's a this and the third. But let's be honest. Hollywood Brown is shit. Willie Snead is shit. You drafted this guy from Minnesota. I don't know how good he is. We'll see. So you wanted to prove Lamar Jackson was a good quarterback? Get him Julio Jones. Clearly, a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick would have gotten you Julio Jones. So I don't understand. That's what I just don't get. That's the cons in all this. But all right, here's the cons for the Falcons.
By the way, be easy. I'm still in therapy with this man. I mean, I'm still like trying to get over the PTSD he caused me. I just want to put a little fun side note in there. I mean, one, you get these videos out. Oh, he's not throwing too well at training camp. Da 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 da.
You practice like you're in a game.
It's just it's
horrendous. It's horrendous.
You're a little too excited, but
all I'm saying, no, you know why I'm excited? Because they were in the running. I don't know why they said at the right place, and I was like, oh fuck, what's the right place?
You are not getting the L's and the R's today, buddy.
What do you mean?
Race. The Packers. I used to add the L earlier.
The Raiders. But listen, if the second round pick and the fifth round pick isn't the right price, I don't know what is. But the cons to all this is obviously the Falcons. I don't know where the direction is going. They still have Matt Ryan. Calvin Ridley is going to be a great wide receiver for fantasy. Kyle Pitts might be a top 5 tight end.
I'm going to pause on a quick statement he said.
Okay.
I don't know what direction they're going. Yeah. Do they know what direction they're going?
I think they're just playing fun. They're playing games.
We know the ball. All right.
All the blankets like, woo.
Honestly, like if like we were 13 and we got the football team. We were in charge of the Atlanta Falcons.
This was a fantasy football trade that everybody was like, "Are you just playing for fun? Like, are you giving us free $20? Like, what the fuck is going on?"
Right. Again, it's my football team, and I have as fun as can be, and I don't give a fuck if I run it to hell. Yeah. But it's ridiculous, man.
It's dumb. And like everybody's like, "Well, the contract. Is he not worth $15 million all of a sudden?" I don't fucking understand. Like, why is everybody so hyped up about like giving Julio away for a second-round pick? I am still in shock and awe. So that's why I'm crediting the Titans with a lot. I'm crediting A.J. Brown with a lot. I'm putting a lot of credit on all the things Titans.
And the Falcons front office needs to address their drinking problems.
Bingo.
Anyway, moving on. Julio, we're proud of you.
Congratulations, Titans. Kareem, I hope you're listening.
So you do believe they can win a Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. I'm not in the volition of right now. Everybody, you can put all the pieces in front, right? I need to see it after probably like week 4, I make my decisions. So.
That's easy.
Yeah, so.
How easy are you?
What?
How simple?
I'm a simple man, dude. I order Outback probably every Sunday. I jerk off probably twice a day. Like a simple man.
That doesn't. You're trying to get those numbers up. You're trying to.
Apparently, if you jerk off twice a week, you can what's it called? Prolong your life. So I'm probably at this point gonna live to be like 1,000.
You jerk off twice a day, you mean?
Yeah. No, twice a week.
So you jerk off twice a day, so you're getting just endless life. Then.
Yeah. Right now I'm like on my fifth life. I'm immortal.
You're immortal.
Literally, I might be fucking Captain America at this point. I'm not gonna die.
Well, I'm proud of you. I forgot why I originally went down this tangent, so you distracted me.
You said I'm a simple man.
Oh, yeah. Real simple. And then what did you say before that? Was your theory before that?
I just said after week 4, I'll probably make predictions.
Right. That's okay, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Came in a little extra stone today, to be perfectly honest. Doesn't matter. I won't be with my current job too much sooner. Anywho, with that being said, I just don't understand how you can just say, I make my decisions after week 4. Yes, I understand teams are formulating, but you also got to put your balls on the table is what we do as journalists. You got to own it. You got to
you want me to say it right now?
Nuts
you want me to say it right now?
Yeah, this is what we do.
I said it.
And we make baseless claims before we can really see what
Here's my baseless claim. Here's my baseless claim.
Thank you.
Here's my baseless claim. The Titans won't win the AFC or the Super Bowl this year.
That's your okay.
But listen.
That's your bold prediction.
But listen.
They go to the Super Bowl, they don't win. Is my true prediction.
So my true prediction right now, they lose in like the semifinals to either the Chiefs or the Bills. But the year after, when they start putting all this together once more again, give it a year, then we're talking about them and the Chiefs fighting it out for the literally AFC. So.
Cool.
All right, there you go.
I'm really into these gummy skills.
So and so
I got your idea there, man. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead, and I think they need a defense to develop. They're saying they need the time for the offense to develop as well.
Yep, there it is.
I get what you said. I was listening. I was just in my gummy skittles.
You did bring up defense, so I do want to talk about a defensive player that is on a contending team, quote unquote, the Cleveland Browns. There's a video surfacing of Mr. Myles Garrett playing basketball, and Kevin Stefanski.
Yo, by the way, someone should have gave him a 10-day contract. January. He's been doing it since January to December.
I know he was doing it on like scrubs at like Lifetime Fitness, but I'm pretty sure that dude can do a better job than fucking Andre Drummond in the fucking playoffs. Fucking awful.
The Lakers would have gone at least the second round.
Oh, you don't think LeBron James would love that beast down low to pass to, except for Street Clothes Anthony? Yeah, I'm not on Street Clothes Anthony's side anymore, or LeBron, but fuck him. This is not a basketball podcast.
Yeah, we went from a movie podcast to a football to what we are, a football podcast.
Stefanski went to
a basketball podcast, back to a football podcast.
Went to the old adage of this guy is now retired from basketball.
Well, maybe a porno podcast is a little weird.
I mean, we're sponsored, so.
We are sponsored by 3 different sites now: Pornhub, XNX Video, and X Videos.
The XNX and videos, Jesus, I didn't even know they still exist.
Oh, they're still going.
Jesus.
They're still going strong, baby.
That's a different topic for a different day.
They just had their 20-year anniversary, but anyway.
God damn. So,
happy birthday to XNXX.
So Kevin Stefanski said he's retired from basketball. We've seen this before. Patrick Mahomes was the last one to do it. Trevor Lawrence was the last one to do it. Listen, man, when is enough with this shit? Like, they can't live their life now because they play football. Like, I get it. Like, you don't want to get injured. Now, if Najee Harris did the same thing, would I be pissed? Yes. But I would actually be in the position.
Would you really?
No, I would actually.
Would you really?
When I see basketball stuff like this and like doing all that crap, like they can get injured by just going to training camp. Get injured like the Broncos guy did at their own facility. Like. Injuries are gonna happen, so are we gonna just tell these guys they can't have like a life outside of football? Like that's my opinion. I get it, like, but like if it was like, so say if it was like random guy name here that wasn't a star, wasn't Baker, wasn't OBJ, wasn't Miles, nobody would give a fuck.
Right.
Like if
apparently
if Terrell Edmonds for the Steelers did that, nobody would care. If what's his name for the Washington football team did it, would Payne be a guy kind of like that? Like,
sure. Gerard Payne can be a
nobody give a fuck.
Well, let's say TJ was going around.
TJ was doing it. TJ, Chase Young doing it. I'd be like...
I would say that's dope shit.
I'd be like, cool. You're working out. You're at least getting some cardio in, unlike some people. Like Aaron Rodgers is out there boogieing with his new wife or soon-to-be wife, while these guys are actually working. He's getting cardio, and dog, he does not look good. I'm telling you, he looks like if he got sacked right now, he would get broken in half.
You think that's some toxic fealties going in down there? You think that's a little succubus?
Everybody, listen, if we're going to go to the next topic, I think this might be the next topic. So,
all right, we're just going to do let's throw this topic in, baby.
Case in point, Myles Garrett.
Improv topic.
To all the people out there, give it a break with the basketball stuff. Like, it's fine. Like, they're athletes. They want to do stuff. They're gonna get injured at one point or another. It's life.
Stefanski be studying other teams, worrying about what you're gonna go ahead. Who's like the players that your rookies that you got coming in there?
And let's be honest. What's he gonna do? Roll an ankle and we'll be back in 2 weeks? Like, give him a fucking break. Like,
he's fine.
I'm on the volition. Let these guys live. But now back to Aaron Rodgers, that sick fuck.
And look, can we do say that we do understand you can make the bullshit argument? Nah. Like it's, he was gonna ruin my superstar player, and I get it. And people can, but like again, like you're saying, dude, just let them live their lives. Who fucking cares? They are not technically. Yes, they're not in playing season for you. Let them have a little fun.
Oh, okay. Here's a good point. Here's a good point. Would you rather watch them play basketball or see them in the club getting fucking drunk as shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there you go. Aaron Rodgers is with his new soon-to-be wife or whatever the fuck, and I'm under the volition now because we brought this up. This is a quick segment because I didn't really want to bring this up. He looks terrible. He looks awful. He looks like a guy that has not seen weights. He has not seen a shower. He has not seen anything but that girl for a year. Like, he looks terrible. Like, if he showed up at training camp...
fall in love with a succubus.
This girl, whatever, Woodley or whatever, she looks like a freak. She looks like a freak. And I'm not talking sexual.
You're gonna lose it.
But she looks like a girl that will grab you and be like, you're mine now. I don't like football. You're gonna be in fucking jeopardy for the rest of your life.
You're Aaron Rodgers and you fell in love with a succubus.
Yep.
Alright, that's it.
There it is. Next topic.
Talk about Rex Burkhead for some reason?
No, okay, this was a mediocre signer of the week. Rex Burkhead signed with the Texans, not the Texans.
Last week, yep.
Texans have Rex Burkhead, Philip Lindsay, David Johnson, Mark Ingram.
Didn't we toss this off the outline?
Huh?
Didn't we toss this off the outline?
No, that was the Diggs restructuring.
Oh, okay.
Because I had like a prediction.
Zach Ertz may end up coming.
Yeah, but when that happens, Yeah. So now they have 4 used cards. Congratulations. Got a quarterback that probably won't play. So one of those running backs will do a Wildcat offense. Probably be like, so there you go.
Big Wildcat offense, or big Wildcat podcast. I gotta stop eating these Skittle gummies.
I like the Wildcat offense when it's
Wildcat podcast here.
If you had to pick one of those, who's the quarterback in that Wildcat
bring Wildcat up at any type of bar, any type of situation, it's ignored. It's constant.
Why are you a big Wildcat guy?
I just think it's fucking hilarious.
Who would be the quarterback? If you had to pick between...
The fact that it's actually a thing is fucking hilarious.
And how it actually made the Dolphins go to the playoffs.
And now for our Wildcat segment.
The Dolphins made it to the playoffs.
A year and a half for a Wildcat. Yeah, Dolphins made it to the playoffs, exactly.
With it.
With Ricky Williams.
And Ronnie Brown.
Yeah, even though they didn't, but still.
What?
Did they make the wild card?
Yeah.
I didn't even remember. Did they actually?
Yeah, they beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots to go to the playoffs.
That's right. Yes. Okay.
And they lost. I forgot who they actually lost to, but they lost in awful fashion.
Again, but when the Wildcat succeeds, it shows that it can do some damage. So steroid up, Ricky Williams.
Who was the quarterback out of those four? That name. Who you put in at quarterback? Lindsay, Burkhead, Ingram, or David Johnson? Who do you think is the quarterback? I know who I'm picking.
I'm either going David. Believe it or not, I'm going David. Okay, or actually, no, take all that back. I'm either going Ingram or I'm going Sexy Rexy.
I'm going Sexy Rexy.
Yeah.
I'm going Sexy, not because I think I've seen him throw a pass and it wasn't bad. I think they actually had a play in New England where he was on punt team, he got the ball, threw it, and it was actually not that bad. So I don't know about the other three. That might be just the biggest, that one play is in my head, and I'm just
pretty sure Rex is Mormon, so we're good. I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around.
There we go. We got number 4. We're gonna get to the top 5 soon. I promise you. There's 4 right there.
Yep. 4th quarterback of all time, Rex Burkhead.
Oh my God. So now for our best segment.
This is, of course, the NFC South preview.
So this is our last division before the season starts. If you want to listen to the previous ones, go back in time and listen to our other episodes. So we ended with the Super Bowl champ division. Obviously, the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, but we're going to go from last to first. So we both seem like we're on the same page with this. And we talked about this team already, so I don't know what more do we need to talk about. But the Atlanta Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons traded away Julio Jones. Woo! And everybody thought they were gonna. I thought they were gonna actually move away from Matt Ryan. Probably draft Justin Fields. Didn't work. They actually drafted probably the most dynamic player in NFL draft history, because that's what everybody's been talking about, is Kyle Pitts. So Kyle Pitts is there.
Yeah, apparently the greatest pick of all time.
Greatest pickup of all time. Like, greatest pick. Like, literally give him a gold jacket by now.
Yeah, all right. He's earned it. Congratulations, Kyle Pitts. That should be your... I'll tell you, when we do our fantasy football segment, guaranteed top 5 pick, you better be all over. His dick is at least 13 inches, they say.
Travis Kelce who?
Right. I'm sorry, what? Who?
Exactly.
I know Kyle fucking Pitts, my boy. Future Hall of Famer.
There it is.
Right.
Obviously, they still have Calvin Ridley. Their defense is still in shambles. So I hate to say it like this.
Matt Ryan at the end of his career.
It's who's the running back? Mike Davis, the guy who filled in for Christian McCaffrey.
Probably their best move they did all.
Oh my God, Mike
Besides,
Davis.
of course, Kyle Pitts.
So that's the winner of this whole thing is actually Mike Davis. Mike Davis might be the leading rusher in Atlanta. So congratulations.
That is a well-deserved contract.
After that whole thing with Christian McCaffrey, I think it was a little bit pumped, but you know.
Somewhat, but he also had numbers like that the year before when Christian McCaffrey was out.
True.
He is a guy that has proven toughness, proven experience. He's had it at least over a scope of 12, 14 games now?
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, he earned a contract.
So we'll see what happens with him, but at the end of the day, it's all about that defense. The defense is in shambles. That defense has not been good since the Super Bowl.
There is no defense.
There is no. This is a team that has. This is the 35-point team that I was telling you about. They have to score 35 points.
Fucking nude out there, man.
Listen, dude.
Again, yeah, it's what that defense has always been. What they apparently always want to be, and they don't want to have it any other fucking way. But they're no defense.
So I'm gonna give them. So for me, at the end of the day, I'm going to give them maybe 4 wins, 5 wins. I'll give them 5 wins. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Give them 5 to 12. They'll be last place. They'll go top 10 in the draft again. We'll see. Maybe they'll draft a quarterback of the future. Trade Matt Ryan. Who fucking knows at this point? But this team is just not on my radar at all for this season. And yeah, good luck.
Fade them all year. Bet against them all year. Spread, whatever. I don't care what it is. Bet against them all year.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty much hit everything, man. There's not too much more about this team. This team is literally a team I can't stand talking about. They're not worth the time. A terrible move. Like I said, I think that whole front office is drinking. The defense, as you already mentioned, it's a classic like you like to do too. Name a player. Like it's just there's no one worth note on that defense. Offense again. Apparently, Kyle Pitts. It doesn't matter. We're going undefeated because we have Kyle Pitts now. Thank God.
Yep.
So if I am from Atlanta and I'm a big Falcons fan, I am probably saying 16-0 here, obviously. But what I'm going to go ahead and do instead is I'm saying, what did you say I missed your record?
5 and 12.
5 and 12. Okay, yeah, dude. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go 3 and 14 here, dude. I don't see this team doing anything worth note whatsoever. There's no reason that you guys think you should be anointed or feel good about the upcoming season with a quarterback who's been on his last leg and is. So I'm surprised he's still there. I think probably just so he can get paid out in the final steps of his contract, but it is a very nice contract. As well as it's abysmal. Mike Davis, congratulations, and that's about it.
Yeah, there you go. So now listen, this team did a lot of moves. This is no way, shape, or form I'm calling them bad. I'm calling them they're in the stepping stone. Like they're those teams that they're not going to be good this year. They'll be good probably next year or the year after.
Or they could be one of those. You know what? One caveat with this team is they could potentially be a team that you're like, wow, one that completely flips it around teams.
We're putting them right now.
Every single
exactly. This is the surprise team.
A huge. I can flip it all around.
This is like the Jaguars.
When we ever anoint them, it never seems to work out so far.
No,
but this is the year where we go ahead and the podcast stays strong, baby. We're writing this one together. Do you want to commit to it together as a podcast right now?
What, that this is the turnaround team?
This is the turnaround.
Yeah, I'll do it because I think okay.
With that being said, we both placed them in third position, but
No, but we're being realistic. We're being realistic. So Carolina Panthers is who we're talking about, obviously.
Yeah.
They traded for Sam Darnold. They got Sam Darnold. We both think Sam Darnold in a new situation is going to be good, like Ryan Tannehill, because we think Adam Gase is the worst guy to ever touch a football, touch a playbook. He is awful.
20 minutes.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So Sam Darnold is a big improvement, in my opinion, than Teddy Bridgewater. A healthy CMC. Honestly, he is arguably the best running back in the NFL. Probably we could put Derrick Henry in there, Alvin Kamara.
By the way, where he was ranked on that fucking She-Devil.
We will get to it. Just hold on. I know. Just hold on, baby. Yeah.
I'm gonna break some shit in this goddamn studio.
I know. Listen, let's get through these 3 teams.
I've been kind of stoned and aloof this whole episode, but that shit.
If you want to see some fireworks, and you don't want to listen to the rest of this, we don't blame you. Just fast forward. But
but hey,
we gotta do it.
Want to hear how the NFC East is going to happen and how it's going to lay out? You're welcome. We're going to figure it out.
South.
NFC South. Yep. Tennessee South. I talk fast.
I can't do ours, and you can't figure out which direction we're going.
That's how you know it's a face of the franchise episode.
Sam Darnold, Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, pretty good offense. That's not bad. Their offensive line is pretty good. It's got some weapons. Got some. That offense is great. Defense, they got some names. J.C. Horton was their first pick, so there you go. Let me tell you something. They got Brian Burns. Guy came into his own. He's doing great. Listen, that's what I'm saying. We're putting them at a pedestal of like.
Yeah.
This team can either be really good or still in that kind of limbo of pretty bad, pretty good. So Matt Rule is a great coach. I think he's one of the best. He's one of the better up-and-coming coaches out there. I think the Panthers are doing as much as they can to be in that target zone of the Bucs and of the Saints because, I mean, Saints have, we'll get to the Saints with no Drew Brees. Bucs, we don't know the real immortal Tom Brady is going to do, but...
True. So what do you have them at here?
7 and 9? Would it be 7 and 9? No, 7 and 10. 7 and 10. That's realistically, as of now.
Okay, so, I mean, a couple of things. I think you covered a lot of good stuff. I definitely think they have a great developing defense. And J.C. Horn, if A.J. Boye can get healthy as well, that's a great guy to have right next to him. I even like young Dante Jackson, who's shown a lot of promise as well. Derek Brown obviously runs this defense along with, who's getting along pretty well with, as you mentioned, Brian Burns. But I think, again, with a healthy Christian McCaffrey, like New kind of got into... And with that defense, another defense that does need to show submission, this could potentially be an 11, 12-win team. It could be. It could potentially be that, but right now I'm with Noon. It's still too many question marks. It is, if you're a betting man, a big gambling man, it is a team to put in running right now going into the playoffs. But realistically, it's just not going to fold out the way they think they are this year. I still think Sam Darnold needs to get used to the system. Let's not forget it's his first year. Wide receivers are still... doesn't get me overly excited.
Listen.
Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore? Are you still riding DJ Moore to the grave?
He was pretty good last year. He was not bad. He was not bad.
You sound like a fucking addict right now.
Listen.
And I swear to God I will quit. If I could just get like a little dime back.
If I missed the DJ Moore fucking breakout, I will stab myself. I need to draft him one more fucking time because he was so fucking close, and I swear to God it was because of.
This is the only relatable pain in terms of that I have for you is Lamar Jackson. And I know you don't like to hear that.
Break my
that is what I go through. No, Lamar Jackson, what you're going through right now.
Lamar Jackson is a different story. He controls the ball. DJ Moore is a wide receiver.
Positions, but in terms of the pain you're going through right now, partner.
He's so good. Throw him the fucking ball.
I feel your pain, but at the same time, now I understand why you look at me the way you do.
I'm going to draft DJ Moore. I'm going to draft DJ Moore. I'm going to draft him in every...
You're not hearing it! Wake up!
No.
Hear it! I tried to be nice!
One time.
He's done!
One time.
Put a fork in him! He's not a superstar!
Give me the record. I didn't say superstar. Don't give me that shit. I'm saying he's at least an 1,100-yard receiver with 7 touchdowns.
8 and 9.
To the New Orleans Saints.
I'm sorry, what did you just fucking say? Did I hear that correctly?
1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Okay.
All right. You want it? You want it?
No, I know he did. But nude. Okay, no, I don't need. No one asked for it. The Saints. How do you feel about the Saints?
Both years with shitty ass quarterbacks, 1,100 yards.
I'm sorry. What did you just say about Teddy Bridgewater?
Shitty quarterbacks. First of all,
fuck you up, dog.
You're the one who actually thinks Joe Flacco's elite, so I don't want to hear it. New Orleans Saints.
This week's wearing off, man. Watch out.
New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints.
Let's get back on the rails if we can somehow this episode.
New Orleans Saints.
Because off the rails we've gone since minute 1.
New Orleans Saints.
Change podcast topic.
The biggest news in this whole division, obviously, is Drew Brees retiring, a Hall of Famer. He's going to get a gold jacket in 5 years. Congratulations. Now the question is, which quarterback's going to take over, Winston or Hill? Doesn't fucking matter, to my opinion. I think this team is going to win 8 games. Let's just talk about this offense. Alvin Kamara, if you want to talk about one of the most versatile running backs, he's in that conversation. Michael Thomas, whether you think he's a slant god or not, he's still one of the better wide receivers. He might have been a disappointment last year because of injuries, but that's just the COVID, all that shit, all that jazz. So the defense still has Marcus Lattimore, Cam Jordan, you name it. I mean, this defense still is there. They still have Sean Payton, who I think is a top 5 coach. This team is still going to be fine. I think this team is going to win, even though I think it's 8 games. 8-win team with Jameis Winston or Hill is pretty good. Now, this is a team where they could sneak into the playoffs, kind of like the Chicago Bears last year, and if somebody slips up, so I'll give them that. Now, the Saints...
I'm switching something, but go ahead.
Oh, you're switching the Panthers and the Saints?
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't actually blame you. I don't blame you. So, I'm just saying, I don't bet against Sean Payton. I don't bet against Michael Thomas. I don't bet against Alvin Kamara anymore. So, they're going to be second in that division, maybe sneak into a wild card, but I don't think so.
So Saints are going to be that 8-9 team. I'm going to
8-9, 9-8.
I want 10-7 for the Carolina Panthers. They are going to get in that wild card slot. One of the wild card slots. With that being said, listen, I mean, and no, it's not just the loss of Drew Brees, and I was even ready to go ahead and ride my bit from last year with Jameis Winston and Jameis and Tamus. As long as they go ahead, Jameis and Taysom, even though I want to say Jameis and Tamus because it rhymes, Jameis and Taysom are going to go undefeated and give me a step. I'm not going to do it. Even though if you win the Wildcat with Alvin Kamara, that will do it, and I will change everything, but that's just my humble opinion. With that being said, I just don't see anything that gets me overly excited in terms of what they did in the offseason, dude. None of their picks really get me excited, burst off the paper. There's still, I mean, they made almost more cuts than signings, it seems. It's
just I think now with no Drew Brees, it's kind of like, what is your identity? And I think their identity is going to be defensively, maybe offensively a little bit. It's
a reform. It's a rebuild year. It's going to be that. I mean, every team has it. The Saints are trying to pull story from 2011 for the last 8 years, and they're finally moving on.
It's every team with a franchise quarterback for so many years. Worst nightmare. Like, you have a good team. You do. Like, the Saints have a really good roster. But because there is no quarterback to right the ship...
Yeah, and it's not even that. Who's your clear leader? Because as I got mixed up 2 weeks ago, probably be a little stoned then too, was that Michael Thomas already has shown he has a lot of problems in this locker room, right? Not Julio. I apologize, Julio. Again, proud of you. Titans, proud of you. But Michael Thomas, not so proud of you in these last couple of years. I'm really not. Like, it's been, again, a team that doesn't even seem like Drew could really get a hold of. Can Alvin step up as a leader? I don't know. We'll see. But it's those 2 quarterbacks, I think, have shown they cannot. And I don't even think it's fair still. Again, bit totally off the table that I did last year with Taysom. I don't think Taysom's shown that he is whatsoever.
Now, you know what's funny about this?
Taysom is athletic, and again, yes, I know he is from BYU too. Okay, I know he is from BYU.
Oh shit! Did we say that? Did we put him in the top 5?
He's in top 5.
He's 2.
He's easy too. Yeah, so it's Zach Wilson. It's Zach Wilson.
No, Jim McMahon. How many times did you say Jim McMahon 1? No,
Zach Wilson.
No, we have our 5. I forgot.
Yes, we have 5.
Steve Young.
No. Steve Young's 3. Zach Wilson.
fucking believable. Even when we found out an actual Hall of Famer.
Jim McMahon, and our fifth. Who's our fifth? Rex Burkhead. Beautiful. Which, by the way, I'm not 100% sure he's a Mormon. I cannot verify that. I do not know if he went to BYU or not. And as we already established, you can go to BYU without being a Mormon. But I'm not 100% Rex Mormon. Rex Burkhead, again, not stereotyping. Go ahead and cancel me if you do. But I'm going to stick with this. Looks a little bit Mormon. He just has that, that unfiltered, innocent look. I have little to no life experience. You know what I mean? So the Bucks.
All right, the Bucks is the easiest I think we can ever dissect.
This is the most off-season show that we've had all off-season.
Yeah, no.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean we're doing pretty good on time. Like, hasn't been a full hour, so.
Oh really? I mean, again, most off-season show that we've had.
No, wait, stop out. We didn't get to our. We didn't get our.
It was very off-season.
Just get ready for the comments that are about to happen in the next segment. So. All right, let's just do the Bucks real quick. Bucks won the Super Bowl. They brought everybody back. Bruce Arians got an extension. Tom Brady got an extension. Everybody got an extension. They're running it back. First time in Super Bowl era history that all 22, 24 players are coming back. So, where do we put them at? 11-6, something around there. Not doubting Tom Brady. They might go to the Super Bowl again.
He's going to do what he always does. It's going to be a slow start with whatever team he has. Everyone's going to be like, oh, no, he's done. He's finished. He's 45.
Same old song and dance, baby.
And then he's going to be back in the Super Bowl.
Same song and dance. Until I actually see this guy fucking throw picks for 17 weeks. For 17 weeks.
Sign Aaron Rodgers a weapon.
If I see an actual fucking regression. I don't want to see 1 week regression. I want to see regression for at least 10 weeks. 10 weeks. He looks like shit for 10 weeks. I don't want to hear anybody talk about Tom Brady. Because I'm done with it. I really am. I don't care. This man is immortal. The man put up a picture saying it's his 22nd fucking...
How many times do you think he jacks off a day?
Dude, at least I don't know if it's that...
You about to say a million?
A million? That man's coming. He's coming during practice.
No way he has...
Oh, I bet you $10 he's a Dennis Reynolds.
He does not have time for 2 jack-offs a day.
He's jacking off it. No, he's doing the Mike Evans throws a pass to Mike Evans. Mike Evans touchdown, perfect pass, and he jaculates.
They had like a jerk-off station for him on the field.
Tom Brady goes to Bruce Arians. I gotta jack off. You think Bruce Arians is gonna say no?
And the jerk-off station, there's a picture of his.
Get the fuck out of here.
11-6. Station, there's a picture.
Congratulations. Now that we're done with all,
you're not gonna address that.
No.
Third time.
No, I'm not gonna stop with the sun. This is disgusting.
Did he or did he not tell his son on camera? Anyway, with that being said, Buccaneers, yeah. I will go ahead and say, I'm going to say 12-5 this team. I'm going to say with second year, they're going to be a little more threatening. They're definitely going to start off like 2-4 and then just win 10 in a row. So, not too much to address. As Newt already said in off-season news, this is just a disgusting team on disgusting riders with a lot of young, disgusting players as well. And Tom Brady's going to play until he's 85, so it doesn't really matter.
Bingo.
Joke in sports. All right. With that being said.
All right. Time up. All right. So.
I can't introduce it, man.
Honestly, you want me to be honest? This is how you're supposed to do this with this podcast.
That's all I ask out of you, buddy.
Go look up the CBS top 100 players. Everybody right now. Everybody. Everyone.
Pull that list up.
Please. Because I want
real quick, did we talk about Hard Knocks?
Shit.
Hard Knocks.
All right, so
don't look that up yet. Wait a second.
Look real quick, because this is actually pretty interesting. Hold on, let's see the top.
Have that pulled up for the next minute or two. I mean, let's just talk about it real quick. You wanted to talk about, because again, very off-season show.
All right, the 5 teams that are eligible to be on Hard Knocks: Broncos, Cardinals, Cowboys, Giants, Panthers. Out of those 5, which one would you like to see, Joe?
Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals. Which one would you like to see the least of?
Dallas Cowboys.
I'm going to say the Giants. Which one?
Yeah, I agree.
Which one would have the biggest character?
Arizona Cardinals.
Who would that be?
Who would have the biggest character on the team? Kyle.
Kyler would be.
Kyler.
I want to do Broncos.
Or DeAndre. You know what?
Actually,
Buddha,
no, stop.
Buddha.
Put DeAndre back on Hard Knocks because it gave me the best fucking clip of all time when he did that to D Hall.
That whole
End story,
bro. The whole team.
I don't finish. I don't start it. I don't finish it.
Tyler would probably have the biggest character, I would say, though.
I don't start it. I just finish it. Broke a dude's legs to the point where he retired.
DeAndre Hopkins would be most entertaining. Kyler Murray, biggest character. Buddha Baker, probably second most entertaining, I would have to say. I would guess, excuse me, those Skittle gummies are giving me old beer burps here.
All right, now it's time to go in.
What the fuck were you thinking?
So CBS.
It's time for our "What the fuck were you thinking?" segment. Of the off season.
A lot of this is dumb as fuck because I hate CBS already. I think they're the worst sports. Kind of like sports anything. Like, their takes are just terrible. So
it's so fucking frustrating, by the way. They don't even pop up. It's on like the suggested Explorer page sometimes. It's out there. And you run into these terrible just CBS posts, CBS articles, all these different types of things that pop up. And it is extraordinarily frustrating. And this may have...
I just want to see the criteria.
I want to see the fuck up.
I want to see the criteria.
The thing they've ever done.
So
it is literally poisoning the minds of young, promising sports.
I had questions.
Fall in love and have their big moments like we did, and they are being robbed of it because of CBS Sports.
I had questions, but now I don't have questions. So, you know what, Joe? You go off, King. I had questions, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck anymore. You go in.
No, ask a question.
Do you think they got anything right? To be honest, do you think they got anything right?
No.
I don't think they got one thing right on this list.
Patrick Mahomes was number one, that's it.
No, I don't. Aaron Donald should be number one. You win 3 fucking defensive player of the year. Come on, man. All right, let me just stop right here. Everybody needs to stop sucking these quarterbacks' cocks. I cannot believe it.
You're the biggest P.O. sucker, bro. What do you mean?
What?
You regularly suck his
I love Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback out of the quarterback group. But when we're talking about impact to a game, I rather would, if I'm like, you give me all 100 and whatever.
I'll let you finish.
What?
No, I'll let you finish.
What, you don't think Aaron Donald has a bigger impact on the game?
Than Patrick Mahomes in a game?
Come on, man. Just because the quarterback has the ball all the time.
You would rather have Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Donald start your franchise here.
Let me ask you a question.
By the way,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Ask Patrick Mahomes how well he did with no 2 tackles. He got fucked by 2 guys lesser than Aaron Donald.
I was said, you know what? The first time ever in the show's history, and maybe in my life, I said my argument.
There you go. This is not against Patrick Mahomes. This is not another Patrick Mahomes. But this is against everything else on this list. Look.
Yeah, let's really get into it.
So, is Aaron Rodgers the 3rd best player in the NFL?
No.
Is Tom Brady the 4th?
No.
Is Russell Wilson
8th? No. Is Devontae Adams 7? No. I mean, no, I don't get you really, and let me go off for a moment, dude, because this is just fucking disgusting. I mean, the amount, first of all, Kirk Cousins, if you scroll...
He's on the list.
He's on the list. Kirk Cousins, that is the biggest bunch of blasphemy I've ever fucking seen. When you talk about we need to stop sucking these quarterbacks, why is the biggest con artist quarterback of all time on this list? Why would he ever be on this list? He never, ever at any point in his career deserved to be on this list. Christian McCaffrey is not in the top 20 on this list, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? No secondary defensive players are in the top 10. No, I will say that for you one more time. When you want to talk about impact of the game, no secondary defensive players are on this list.
We're a safety podcast.
We are a pro-safety podcast. We love our safeties, but we love them for a reason. And it's because the media and motherfuckers like she-devils like fucking she-he-devils like fucking CBS Sports. That's right, she-he. They're a collective unit of pure evil. It's what they are. Puts out lists like this and allows innocent people to Google it and look up this list. They are poisoning young sports nines of America. Christian McCaffrey is a top 20, probably top 10 player in the league. Okay? Fucking...
People just hate...
Mika Fitzpatrick is number 60? No, for you to get... Because I want some energy out of you here.
I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, baby.
Number fucking 60? Buddha 51? Fucking disrespectful. Those are some safeties that, again, you can argue Mika could be in the top, at least top 20, period. You could argue for some of these defensive players, there's one defensive player in the top 10. And that is Aaron Donald. I'm pretty sure, I think there's maybe two. Let me be sure here. There's two. There's Myles Garrett.
No, there's three. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Aaron Donald.
Still disrespectful.
No, okay.
It's just disgusting as fuck. I'm sorry, go ahead. I could keep going on all day.
I was just waiting for you. I'm just like figuring, so this is what I'm saying about dick sucking, right? Offensive. This is what happens when fantasy football takes control of football. We forget about the impact on the defense. You have a safety. You have safeties. I'm not just talking about Mika Fitzpatrick. I'm talking about Buda Baker. I'm talking about Jesse Bates. I'm talking about
AJ Brown 72.
Like, come on, bro. Like, this is ridiculous.
I'm just gonna name players.
Christian McCaffrey at 22 is the biggest one.
Allen 76.
This is recency bias to a T. Christian McCaffrey broke records, and just because he got injured one year, we're gonna just forget about him. Saquon Barkley, the same shit. Like this is the dick sucking I'm talking about. Like Tom Brady, to all his credit, he is a great player. He is an awesome quarterback, but he's no fourth best player on the fucking field. Like of all football. Like right now, Tom Brady is not the fourth best player in all football. Like, you gotta hop off his dick a little bit. Like, I'm saying hop off dicks a lot.
There's a lot of recency bias in here.
There's a lot
of quarterback bias and offensive football bias in
Bingo. When Kirk Cousins is on the fucking list, I can't approve that.
When Christian McCaffrey is not on the list just because he was out last year and can do
not in the top 10. Like, I just don't understand. Like,
not in the top 20 even, dude.
Like, what is the impact of the offensive line?
Tre'Davious White is 78. Tre'Davious, I will say that one more time, and I want true fans of this football or of this podcast, Face the Franchise, to really soak that in. Tre'Davious White was 78. Everybody who is affiliated with this article should be fired. They should not hold a job in any sort of sports media or journalism ever again. There's a reason Kevin Durant doesn't want to talk to anybody or be affiliated with it whatsoever, because you guys are disgusting, fucking clout-mongering, fucking soul-sucking, grandmother-killing, Roger Goodell level-esque of fucks that contribute to this system that is saturated and ruining the content and ruining the art that is sports.
One of the things that I saw that actually made me physically ill was they had Zeke Elliott better than some of the running backs that should have been ahead of him. They need to stop doing this shit with Zeke Elliott. He is
Aaron Jones, 84.
Like Aaron Jones,
80.
Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, they're better than them. Listen, if we're gonna do all that shit, like give me a break with the Zeke Elliott, the Dak Prescott, the fucking Tom Brady.
Saquon, 87.
I just don't get what was the criteria to this? Like this was so stupid. Like
they put DJ Moore on the list for some reason.
All right, stop. DJ, I got you, baby. I got you.
Derwin at 90.
There's a lot of questionable things on this list. Like, this makes the top 100 list of football.
Kyler Murray at 94 might be the biggest trustee on this whole list.
Oh,
Kyler Murray at 94.
When we say quarterback bias, they put fucking Tom Brady ahead of him. Like, Tom Brady is not better than Kyler Murray, right?
If Kyler Murray had all those weapons, they'd be undefeated.
Yeah, dude, you see what he just did? He took a huge jump just by getting DeAndre Hopkins. Not saying DeAndre Hopkins is like, that's a little bit of an upgrade. No, it's a good upgrade. But if you give me Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, like, come on. Like, outside of DeAndre Hopkins, he was throwing to Larry Fitzgerald's ghost and Christian Kirk.
If you're going to be biased with quarterbacks, be biased with the right quarterbacks. What the fact that Kyler is on this is number 94 on this list just shows that whoever did this just started watching football last year. Okay, they just started watching football last year. They heard a couple names from
That's That's why I cannot.
Darius Williams 99.
I cannot trust CBS because CBS does this shit all the fucking time, and it's not a surprise with this shit. It's not a surprise when the same people talk about.
They're not on the list at all.
Zero. Like, dude, come on. Like, it's recency bias. It's recency fucking bias. Now watch. Credit to the NFL Network. At least they get their votes from the actual NFL players. Maybe it's a little bit biased with that too, but at least I can respect NFL players saying this person is good because such and such than these jamokes making up shit out there.
That's right, those jamokes.
I mean, I'm just saying, dude, when you put...
I feel like that was super offensive maybe in like the 80s, and now no one knows what that means.
Jabronis.
It's like jabronis, jamooks, jahookies, jabogies.
I just hate these lists. I hate these lists so fucking much.
It's disgusting, man. And it shows no respect for a lot of positions in the game of football. Again, such as safety,
linemen, defensive players, everything. It's a quarterback-driven... Like, I literally tweeted this
quarterback
today.
wide receivers.
Somebody was like, give me a sports take that makes you look like this, and it was Patrick getting booed. He was like tied up and they're booing him, throwing tomatoes. I was like, name the fucking MVP trophy of the NFL to the best quarterback, because clearly the best players don't win that fucking award. Right. Like, Aaron Rodgers, to his credit, did really, really well, but Derrick Henry did way better. Derrick Henry ran for 2,000 fucking yards.
How do you not give that man... He ran for 2,000 yards. That's been done, what, 10 times?
Yeah. J.J. Watt, when he won Defensive Player of the Year, he had 25 sacks. I think he almost broke Michael Strahan's record, or he did break the record. They still gave it to a quarterback. Todd Gurley, same fucking thing. They gave it to Tom Brady, who threw 36 touchdowns. Like, dude, give me a fucking break, because I hate it when this shit happens. It's a quarterback award. Don't call it anything else. And the Rookie of the Year trophy, it's starting to be the same fucking thing. Same fucking thing.
Yep.
Justin Jefferson, great rookie season. Justin Herbert had a great rookie season too, but not Justin Jefferson level. Justin Jefferson should have gotten it, or somebody of that caliber. Like, it's just ridiculously poor.
We've talked about this before too. You put so much emphasis on one position, it begins to devalue and saturate the other positions, and devalue the talent that's actually coming through too and wants to play those wide receivers, running back positions. Well, why would I do that when I can just go make a whole bunch of money for 10 years in baseball or basketball or whatever the case is?
And as a guy who will say this, the quarterback position is one of the most important positions in sports. Yes, you need a good quarterback to obviously go to the Super Bowl, as we see. But you could be the Washington fucking football team, have a great team around a shitty-ass quarterback, still make it to the playoffs, and it'd be fine.
Watch what you say behind it. But yes, I feel you.
Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, you guys feel like you're a fucking...
Go Monarchs!
So...
Go Monarchs!
There you go.
Play behind key!
Give Travis Fulgham a shout-out, too.
Yeah, big chat. Well, you know where he's at, but yes, Travis Fulgham.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so that's our show. Congratulations.
Woo!
Discredit CBS.
But for real, honestly, yes. Everybody at CBS Sports needs to be fired. Discredit CBS. Ban, rebel, everything against CBS. Ban, riot. Just fucking boycott CBS. I was looking for the word there. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. No. So CBS, fuck off. Can't wait for the next list that we bitch about. But that's our show.
Yeah!
Thank you for rocking with us. Shout out to our sponsors. Number one, Eyesight Mobile Eyewear Company, the best eyewear company that comes straight to you, as well as Stuck Up Clothing. Oh, let me tell you where you can find Eyesight. Eyesight with an I. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Find them on their website, eyesight.com. Look for their new releases of summer glasses, as well as sunglasses. Stuck Up Clothing, as well. You can find them at Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter with new drops, especially now with their new shirts. The
new party summer shirts, man. You can drink a beer in them. You can have a business meeting in them. You can do all the above in them.
The light blue looks sick. The light blue is sick.
I think the pink is dope too. I think this is probably their best drop yet, and it all looks like you can do any type of party or casual party situation or business professional as well.
Finest clothing money can buy. Find them on StuckUpClothing.com and Seductress by Jax. Get your lashes, get your hair done, get your everything done.
Oh, yeah.
Find her on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. She's booked up, like, she gets booked up.
You remember that again? You almost crossed in some voices that I think would be fun.
What?
think you crossed in some stereotypical voices that might.
Oh my, give me up.
Do you want?
she gets booked up really fast, so find her, DM her, let her know. As well as this episode is sponsored by Smooth My Ball. Smooth My Ball is the best and men's grooming down there. I'm ready for date night. He's ready for date night.
I may be dressed like I'm from the 90s, but I'll tell you right now, it glides down there right now. It is.
It's beautiful. It's better than anything I've ever used.
You could snowboard down.
Yeah, it's literally get 15% off your next purchase with using the promo code 4CR20. That's 4, the number 4, CR, and the number 20. Tell them Joe and Shnuti sent you. And that is our show. This is Face of the Franchise. Stay breezy, stay easy, one love.